Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian. So, kind of been a while. Yeah, just that shit going on. You know how it is. So yeah, it's about 5 and I'm drinking some coffee. Yeah, I'm listening to the birthday party. Like I mentioned a couple videos ago that I was kind of listening to alternative shit. And it's funny, I never really thought much of Nick Cave. I still kind of don't like his solo shit now. I don't have any beef with it, but it just kind of leaves me cold a little bit, you know? But, yeah, I was just looking for some different kinds of shit like a few weeks ago, and I grabbed this, along with like a Melvins record, and then like a Slow Dive record and shit like that. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking good. It's, you know what it kind of reminds me of in a weird way is, a lot of the stuff from like Manchester, like around like the new Hormones bands, like that first Buzzcocks 45 is probably the best known one, but like shit like you know, Eric Random or the Diagram Brothers or Ludus or the Mudhutters, that kind of stuff. I don't know if anyone knows that stuff, and I wouldn't even necessarily say this sounds like it. There's just something about it that kind of vibes out in a similar way. Now, I've been kind of talking a couple of videos at my ankle, like I got cut on, and it's fucked up because like it was like a growth. I like used the stitches from the last time I got it cut off as a thumbnail a while back, but this was bigger because they were more aggressive and it was too gross. And it's not cancer or anything, by the way. But anyway, so yeah, I was complaining about it a video or two ago, and I'm gonna have to figure out a different way of doing these because like the way I used to sit, like the scar tissue, like when it stretches, it really fucking hurts. So I have to sit in a different way. But check this shit out. Yeah, it was kind of too gross before, but what the hell? I gotta like be careful with this because my other camera's beefed, but I figure fuck it, I'll just take off the goddamn bandage here and share this. I won't put it in the fucking thumbnail because that's a little bit too hardcore. Actually, seriously, it's funny because I like to be antagonistic, but I don't like to just be a fucking dickhead. And like, just putting like gore on YouTube just looks kind of shit. It really kind of looked like a zombie fight is what it looked like. But y'all get to see it now. Check this out. You don't even have to give me a nickel. Maybe I'll monetize this video. That'll be like the nickel, you know, like when you're in school and shit. So my other camera's fucked up, so I have to like do this just right. But there's the bandage. And fuck. Yeah, it's just like covered up like that now. So for a while there's like a big fucking thing. You know what's fucked up is, I don't know if you can see that right there, but like that's from just like having sticky shit on my ankle so much. It's kind of fucking with the skin. Yeah, so anyway, look at that. You see that shit? I don't know how well it's coming through, but yeah, like that thing, it's like mostly healed now, but it was all fucking gory and like bloody and shit. Where's the goddamn camera? Sorry I'm moving this so much. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, there it is. That should look good, but I can't see, so if not, then I just fucking japed you and you'll have to deal. But yeah, how about that shit? Look, it fucking leaves all this gross shit on the bandage. Like, you see that? You know what this is sort of like? This is sort of like when Chris from Dixieland Farms did those knee replacement videos. Only it's less educational and more salacious and more childish. Alright, let me throw this thing away because it really is a little bit gross. And then we'll talk about some records for a minute. I've changed the bandage anyway, so. But yeah, it's just about healed up. I could probably just like walk around like this now, but it was really fucking gross before though, man. I mean, it was kind of awesome, in a way. I mean, it wasn't like cool, you know what I mean? But it's a great conversation piece, right? So these are a couple new arrivals, actually. I've been a little bit of a witch find kick. But I have the LPs already, so I went ahead and got a couple of these guys just for grins. So I think these are pretty much the same versions of the songs as on the albums. But the labels sure look cool and shit. So there's, I think this is the first 45 they did, To Give 'Em Hell, and then In the Stars is the second one with Wake Up Screaming on the B-side. Which was actually on their second album, Stage Fright. But I think it was a pretty early song because it's on that live album Hang on, let me hype this real quick. I'll just grab it. I've been down like a fucking jack in the box today, man. I'm pretty sure you can still get this. And it's on Buried by Time and Dust. And the dude who runs that label is cool. We're not really close touch, but he's a friend. So, support him, you know? And he's put on a couple of these live records, and I think this one is fantastic. The other one I really loved was the Jaguar one. I'll tell you, if you can get one Jaguar record, like any, I'm having trouble sitting. Like any Jaguar record at all, the one you should get is the Axe Crazy 45, because that one's just fucking great. But if you can get two, or if you don't want to pay for an Axe Crazy 45, then that live double LP that Buried by Time and Dust put out is the way to go, I think. That really kind of reintroduced me to the band. I probably said this before, but I actually think their album on Neat was kind of lame. You know, it's not terrible, but I just feel like it's produced kind of flat, and the songs are kind of mediocre. But the live performances on that record, that Buried by Time and Dust, fuck, I should put it out. I'm hyping it so hard. This is the last time I'm getting up, I swear to God. It's just, it's just cooler. So this is it, Axe Crazy in Holland. And it has a bunch of early cuts, like from the 45s, and Stormchild, which was on, Heavy Metal Heroes. But then it also has shit from the album. And it's just hotter. You know what I mean? The songs sound more alive, they're cooler. They have more character. Yeah, by the way, if this video is monetized, it's because of fucking Nick Cave, not because of me. I'm just telling you that right now. Because I halfway expect that's what's going to happen. So, as far as this one goes, it's almost all, I think every song from Give 'Em Hell is on here, actually. But Wake Up Screaming is on there, too. You see track 8 sort of buried in there, so that makes me wonder if it was, yeah, it was recorded in 79. I was going to say some leftover demo from the 70s or something, but obviously, so. I think that second LP is a lot weaker than the first one, as far as their Rondelay records go. Although I have come around on it. I used to really think it was a piece of crap. Stage Fright, it's called. I actually really like it now, but it's probably their weakest of their 4 records. Maybe, I don't know. Lords of Sin is probably about the same level. I Give 'Em Hell as my favorite because that was my introduction. But then, I'd probably say Cloak and Dagger is number 2. I'm just showing this for fucking visual aid because it's awesome. Plus, what a great cover, man. I mean, Jesus. How can you not want that? You wouldn't believe how little I paid for my copy of the LP, by the way. These 45s aren't expensive either, though, I'll tell you. Like, yeah, the shipping from Britain costs as much as the records on those guys. Alright, so let's see what else we've got here. Well, we're 8 minutes in. So, yeah, I have some metal records. I'm going to show the metal records. Then if the video's too short, maybe we can think about something else. But let's do these. So, I showed a couple of these when I did that live stream with Garino and George Wildheart. Sorry, George. I just fucking spaced your name. I could picture you. But where did I leave my coffee? Oh, it's over there. God, dumbass. So, anyway, yeah, but listen to these now. This is super amateurish, man, this record. But it's really cool. It has some kind of like punchy, sort of kind of barroomy songs, you know what I mean? It sort of reminds you, speaking of the new wave British heavy metal, of some of that more like sort of pub rock type of shit. More in spirit than in actual execution, okay? I mean, none of this sounds like Ground Attack, say. But it definitely has some of that similar sort of vibe on some of the songs. But most of this is just like straight up metal. And it's honest. I mean, my God, they're fucking from Romania, and I mean, late. I want to say this record's like 92 or something like that. By the way, check out this fucking label on this thing. Look at how it's printed, this Electrocord label, printed in Romania. I only have a couple Romanian records. I really only started collecting Eastern European metal like kind of recently anyway, so anyway, Yeah, you see that made in Romania? It looks like it's printed on like the way you see on like Jamaican like reggae 45s and shit, where the print is like a little bit blurry and shit like that. So, oh, I was looking for a year though too. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure it's like 92-ish. So it's classic. As far as the sound goes though, it's classic 80s metal, man. It's a great record. And goddamn, man, how can you argue with that cover? And they're called Commando. Like, what the correct answer is if someone asks you boxers or briefs. Alright. I don't know where I put my e-cig either, man. I'll find that after we're done. Y'all are gonna think I'm fucking tweaking or something like that because I'm running around all over the place. I swear I'm not, because that shit's bad for you, man. So, what else do we have? Alright, here's an Italian one. This is a reissue. There's an EP that I guess is rare. I don't even know if it's expensive, I just know it's rare. But Gunfire, which for some reason I find to be a really funny name for a band. But I don't know, man, that cover just does it for me. I mean, it's really simple with the logo on it. Kind of primitive looking. So the first side of this is the original EP, I guess. And the second side is demos. And even though they're Italian, they don't have the super entertaining song titles that you sometimes see on Italian records. So, like, the best one is probably The Sea, Be Your Grave, which is great use of the subjunctive. Yeah, Bloody Way is a pretty good name for a song, too. Or Fire Cult as one word. But, yeah, nothing really hilarious on here, though. So, but this is a cool record, man. Classic metal sound again. Some really good hooks on some of these, actually. There were a couple songs that kind of had me humming them, like, after the fact, but I've only listened to this thing, like, twice, so, very cool piece, and not very expensive either. I don't think anyone else gives a shit about Gunfire. It's on Jolly Roger Records, which is, like, an Italian label, which is probably run by someone a lot like me or you, if you're watching this. And they kind of have a lot of shit out now, Jolly Roger, but they seem to fly under the radar over here. You know, as contrasted with, you know, High Roller Records, say, obviously. But even, like, No Remorse out of Greece. Jolly Roger's done some really solid shit, but, you know, I think the shit just hasn't garnered the same level of interest, you know. I don't know if they really have the classic releases, though, either, the way, you know, again, a High Roller would. So. Alright, here's another super amateurish one. Metrock. And look at that fucking cover, man. How good is that? It's so primitive. Like, the drawing is so, wish the light were a little better. Yeah, look at that fucking guy sitting on that throne and all that shit sticking out of the ground. I think those are sword blades, but I don't even know. And then there's, like, some guy, it's like fucking Han Solo on the wall there. Can you see that shit next to the throne? Except he's a skeleton. God damn. And look at, they're all fucking cool, but this guy's the best right there. Look at that. He's like, he looks like he's the dad. Like, those are his 4 kids or something like that. And that mustache, of course, goes without saying. So, yeah, this is great. This has some good titles, too. Bloody Planet, Sex Hammer, one word. Spit, that's a good song title. Black Evil. Yeah. Great stuff, man. And the guy's name is Zombie. Yep, more Romanian fucking greatness right here. I mean, truthfully, this really isn't the greatest thing of all time. Sort of from a technical or any other kind of standpoint, really. But it's just a fun record, man. Here, I'll throw it on for a minute. Fuck it. I gotta find something else anyway. And they probably won't copy or ding me. Fucking Romania. Alright, it'd be nice if I could get this open. There's the thing about these fucking MoFi inners. They're a pain in the ass. Check out this vinyl. That's a really nice looking vinyl, right? Fucking pink grail. Oh yeah, Metrock. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Look at those fucking guys, man. So good. A Kind of Hell. Another really primitive looking label. Let's fire this bad boy up, man. So good. So garagey and sincere. You know, these Romanians, they're not fucking around. You know, they weren't in it for the money. This one's late too, by the way. I want to say it's like 91, 92-ish, something like that. So, let's see what else have we got here.
Another world. Creatures of evil.
How can you argue with that, man? That's just fucking fantastic.
They bring death. They bring horror. They bring another kind of hell.
Alright, so here's a Bulgarian one. There you go. It's Era and Concurrent, I think it is, but Concurrent, which is kind of a dumb name for a band. But this is a split LP. I guess there are a bunch of these in Bulgaria. A lot of them were sort of punk, but this one is all metal. It says this LP is a joint release of Balkan Tone and the Central Committee of the Dimitrov Young Communist League. You gotta love that shit, man. How can you not want this in your collection? So the shit's all it's in Bulgarian and translated into English there for your kid. I don't even know why they were bothering with that shit, you know? I guess it was early 90s. It was already a little bit late for, well, I'm not here to give a disquisition on the politics of Eastern Europe. So, anyway, these bands are both like solid metal bands, but it's funny because it has a really dated sound. It's like 80s synth in there, which just sounds out of place, you know? If it were like glammy shit, like sort of, I hate the term hair metal, but if it were something like super poppy or something like that, then you would expect to hear those kinds of keyboards, you know what I mean? But this is sort of like, I mean, it's nowhere near the level of like an Iron Maiden or something like that. Of course, they stuck in a bunch of keys too, didn't they, after a while? I'm not thinking of a good analogy, but point is, there are like some keys on this that sound really out of place, like to such a degree that it's kind of charming. Like, I generally am pretty hostile to that sort of sound, that synth sound, but you kind of have to love it again, just because between the sort of hapless nature of the whole record and the bands and just sort of the whole like fact of this thing and the fact they're just so out of place, you just kind of, it's just charming, like you said, I think. Alright, so I pulled this out again after that podcast I was talking with Greno. So I kind of got peer pressured into playing this record. I've actually had this for more than 10 years and I'd never played it until a couple days ago. And I'll tell you, this record is a piece of shit, man. Like, I realized that, like, there are a lot of Crew fans out there, and, like, some of y'all have convinced yourselves this is a good record, or that it has redeeming qualities. Yeah, I mean, I was about to say it fucking doesn't. I mean, if you want to find redeeming qualities, I actually kind of like this cover, in spite of myself. I really kind of do. I don't know if I'd say it's good. I'd say I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put that on myself. And maybe a character flaw rather than the quality of the art or the concept. But dude, the songs on here are just fucking terrible, man. I mean, I put this thing on, right? First song, what was it? City Boy Blues? Terrible, man. Then Smoking in the Boys' Room, I actually just skipped over that. I let it run to the first chorus, and I was like, I don't need this to like pollute my concept of the record. I'm trying to be fair to this thing. Then like the last three songs, they were just forgettable on that side. And then, like, it was a little bit better. There were a couple, like, decent kind of rockers in here, but it was, like, 60 to 70% crap, and the rest of it was just, like, passable, you know? It was, like, phoned in at best. It's just a shitty record, man. It's just fucking bad. And I'll tell you something, I don't like any Crew after Shout at the Devil. I thought Girls, Girls, Girls was garbage. And fucking Dr. Feelgood and all that. I mean, and here's why, man. It's because that shit isn't metal. It's fucking pop. You know what I mean? Fucking Dr. Feelgood. That's a good song as a pop song, but it's a fucking pop song, dude. That's not fucking metal. So if you like it, great, but I'm not gonna, like, welcome it into the fold, you know? Because it just doesn't belong in the fold. Fuck that. There's another Bulgarian band called Achat. This one seems to be kind of known, actually. I've heard of this record for a long time. I've never actually checked it out until when I grabbed it kind of recently. The album's called The March, or something in Bulgarian. I actually don't know how to pronounce. I can pronounce Russian, but I don't know how to pronounce Bulgarian. And there's some different like letter combinations and shit that are weird to me. Not really knowing the Cyrillic in like a real meaningful way. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just like seeing this on lists and shit like that. You know, people talk about it occasionally, like the European collectors and shit. It's not bad. It's good actually. It's entertaining. It's a cool record. It's the first LP of Achat. Is a joint release of Balkan Tone and the Central Committee of the Dimitrov Young Communist League. So there you have it. But yeah, it's a little bit. It kind of has some commercial moves to it. You know what I mean? Comes off as a little bit. I hate to say slick because it's fucking Bulgarian. You know what I mean? But like that's what they were going for, was that kind of slickness and a little bit more cornball than it needs to be. But overall, it's an enjoyable record, man. I almost feel like I'm being too hard on this because I'm going to leave this out and probably play it 4 more times before I put it away. It's a cool record. And look at that cover, dude. Alright, so I'm going to show one more and then I'm going to hang it up. Isn't Metrok good? See what I'm saying? It isn't like the greatest thing ever. It doesn't like grab you by the balls, but it's just a fucking fun record, man. The production is so flat. Alright, so here's another one. This is another reissue that I saw kicking around. I think Renee talked about this. Renee Holspa Metal, to whom I hope you all are subscribed. But yeah, Suta Gar. This is the only Basque metal record that I'm aware of having. So I have no idea how to pronounce the name of the album. Yayotse Basatia or something like that. But I mean, look at these titles, man. It's just like, I mean, I don't have much to know about Basque, but it's a weird ass language, completely disconnected from everything else around it. And fascinating culture, the little bit that I know about it. Apparently, the largest concentration of Basques outside of Spain in the world is in Boise, Idaho. So, Doom Paul, if he still made fucking videos, he might be able to talk about Basque restaurants and shit. Because he lives in Boise or right around there somewhere, so there are Basques all over the place. Anyway, this is a really cool record, man. The songs are just really good, man. It's just, it's as simple as that, you know? It's pretty straightforward. Does everything right and really nothing wrong. Even if I, like, could say these names, I don't know that I could, like, pick out a specific one and go, that's the killer. But, it's just a fun record, man. The record's over before you know it. It leaves you wanting more, which is what a good record should do. This is a reissue I got from some dude in Spain, but some dude off of eBay. And, I mean, it was like maybe 25 bucks shipped. So I don't like to talk about money usually. But if you want to take a chance, man, you probably don't have any fucking Basque records. This is good. You know what I mean? Like, instead of fucking buying a copy of goddamn a later stupid-ass Crew record, fucking gamble your money on a fucking Suta Gar. They deserve your business more. Because fuck the Crew. And, you know, it'll cost you less than one of those new Kiss reissues. How about that? You want to give Gene Simmons 30 bucks or you want to give Suta Gar 25? No brainer, man. So fucking have at it. Thanks for watching. I gotta figure out a new way to sit. And I actually think I might have another cooking video coming soon because I saw something that kind of blew my mind. But I'll leave you to it. Take care. Thanks for watching. This fucking stuff. No.